Rhino poaching was always something on the horizon, and it was a sort of, I guess, a gradual increase, but it was just so dramatic, I think, around about 2012, when I was used to seeing maybe less than a dozen rhino a year that had been poached. Suddenly it just escalated, and before we knew it, it was in the hundreds. And it's pretty much consistent now, except now we've got fewer rhino, and obviously it becomes a little bit more difficult to poach. But nevertheless, the onslaught is still there, and the threat is always there. Schlieren Fallosi, you know, is the sort of founding population of white rhino throughout Africa, and I think it was probably just not appropriate, but just it was bound to be targeted, and yes, it was heavily targeted. I remember the first time I actually saw a poached rhino, and it was like a bit of a novelty in the beginning, and this rhino's being poached, and also I was unused to doing forensic post-mortem, so it was something new, and that was a challenge in that sense. But as time went on and we started doing more and more and more, I realized that this is not what I was really trained for. I was trained to treat animals and to cure animals, and you know, get them right, translocate, mobilize, not cut them open and look for bullets. It was a thankless task.
The most challenging part of our operation was probably all the moving parts. So there was an extraordinary amount of planning that had to go into it, obviously, and then a lot of people at different jobs. And we started with, you know, getting a good dart in, and then everything worked like clockwork from there. So there was a lot dependent on getting the animal down properly, and then managing it from there, and then making sure everything and everybody knew what they were doing to make it as efficient as possible. I think we got to the stage where we were processing around in under 10 minutes, and you know, became like a well-oiled machine.
Schlieren Fallosi Rhino Dehorning Project was an incredible privilege to be a part of. Sadly, during that time, we found 8 orphans. And for me, that is the hardest part of our work, is finding these rhino orphans. It's always such a heartbreaking experience to find these little guys next to their mother's lifeless bodies. And you can just sense the fear and desperation in them when their mothers have been lost.